Well, hey there. It's me, Angie. Come on in. It's time for our neighbor.
It's me, Angie, calling out to you. The door's wide open, step on through. Neighbors chatting over fence lines, sharing stories, sipping sunshine. We're here, we're loud, a lively crowd. She loves you, there's no doubt. She loves you, there's no doubt. Nothing you can do about. Come in, friends, don't hesitate. Angie's heart won't let you wait. The porch light's on, the night is clear. Bring your laughter, leave your fear. Life's a party on this street. Every corner's got a beat. We're here, we're loud, the vibes are loud. She loves you, there's no doubt. She loves you, there's no doubt. Nothing you can do about. And you can never come in, friends, don't hesitate. Angie's heart won't let you wait. Woo!
I love
Hey.
that intro. Hi, everyone.
I love it.
Oh,
Regina
that
she does so well.
she does.
The one
That's
she did, Johnny, oh my gosh, it was awesome.
she does a
She does
beautiful
really,
job.
really good.
Hi,
Well,
everyone.
hello.
It's not here yet.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. We are excited. It's another month. It's February. Can you believe it's February?
Nope.
I cannot. It seems like we were getting ready for Christmas and talking about Christmas. Now we've already passed January, might as well say the middle of February,
Yeah.
almost. Today's the 12th, Sunday. Well, this month only has 28 days in it.
I know. And I was blessed with, I didn't think it would come back, but my hummingbird is sitting in a nest.
No way, Josie, really?
Yes.
Oh
I mean,
my
I was
gosh.
so excited when I looked out the window the other day. I jumped up and down, believe it or not, and cried.
Well, how do you feed this hummingbird now that you can't have feeders and stuff?
There's a little tree outside my bedroom window,
Uh-huh.
and it's just a little tree, but evidently the hummingbird feels safe because it's come back about 3 or 4 years. And so apparently it's found someplace where it can get nectar, because I've got an idea though. I bought a fake tree to put on my patio. So once
You can
they
have
check
that.
it, it's sure
You
it's
can have a
fake.
fake tree,
I'm going to put a little in the back.
a little something, something in it, a little something, something.
Yep.
Well, we are so glad. We are excited about this month's topic, which we always are. Josie and I are learning right along with you all that come in here and the ones that preview it after it's over with. We hope that there are some that will come watch after it's over with, because we just facilitate. We do not teach the class. We are whatever we're doing here. We do not proclaim to know everything. We don't want to know everything. We just here to have a conversation and to learn and to grow. Even at my age, I'll be 59 in May. So there you go.
It's just a baby.
A little infant. Oh, infant. But our show tonight, let's
I'm
welcome.
old enough to be your mother.
Yeah, you are.
I am.
Ella, I think she was here earlier, but Ella, if you're still here, thank you for dropping by and leaving a hello for us. Thank you. Thank you.
Yep.
And Nicole, welcome in. Welcome in, Nicole. We are so glad you made it. We are happy that anybody drops by. Of course, there's no drama, no bullying, no acting up in this comment in this show. It's all peace, joy, and comfort.
Yeah. Yeah. And one nice thing, if you feel like you need this information that it's helped you, you can always go back continually and watch the replay. And that's what's so nice about videos.
Hey,
you know,
Pamela, welcome in. So good that you're here. Pamela is always so faithful to just be, she comments on my videos. She comes and supports all the time.
she is one busy lady.
Hello, Dar. Welcome in. I hope you're doing well. Renee, welcome in. I am
Hi,
so
Renee
thankful
and
that
Gar.
everyone has I don't know this. Do you know Renee R?
I don't.
But I don't know how you found the channel, but you may be someone we already know. They messed up the names of the channel, you know, where they're putting the at now instead of the regular name. But we're going to go ahead and get started because we have a lot of ground to cover. As people come in, we'll greet them, welcome them in. We hope the chat will also come in and join and answer questions or ask questions or whatever. But I'll get it started. Then Josie's going to give her little introductions of what she wants to say, and then we'll go from there. Okay. I'm new here. I was flipping. Oh, okay. Well, welcome. Welcome in. What we're talking about tonight is fear versus faith. I don't know if I want to say versus. We're just saying fear / faith because one cannot be where the other one is. I think they can both reside in the same place, but one's going to be dominant over the other. They can't dwell together at the same time. So what we want to talk about is building our faith more and not living in fear as much as a lot of people, including myself at times, have lived in fear and not used our faith to believe that it's going to be better and that it is better. The main things we're going to cover tonight are practicing to overcome our fears, no matter how small or large, how to grow our faith, and saying what we are afraid of out loud in order to let it go. Because, you know, if you don't speak something out loud and it just continues to be in your mind, it won't leave. But if you voice it and let it out of your mouth, it has a more of a chance leaving you than it did when it was twirling around in your head, just playing like a record that wouldn't stop, that was recorded over and over and over again. So that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, fear / faith. All right, Josie.
Okay, I've got a million notes tonight, but a simple truth. Fear drains, faith builds, fear keeps you surviving, faith helps you thrive. Every day you can get to choose which voice you follow. And then, okay, fear whispers, what if it all goes wrong? So when you have that fear, you've already decided in your mind that something could go wrong. Faith answers, what if God turns it into something better than I imagined? So see the difference? And that fear actually almost puts you into a depression state of mind. Where if you have the faith, even if the little tiny bit of doubt is in there, that faith will get you through it. And sometimes, and if you don't mind, I'll use a quick example. Last Tuesday, I won't even go through the details. There wasn't one thing I think that went right. In fact, I changed my work day to Thursday because of that. And at the end of the day, I laughed. I sat and laughed and I thought, thank you, Lord Jesus. I didn't go to work, and I bet you saved me from a terrible accident, because everything that day would not allow me to go to work.
I believe that.
And that is the difference between your faith and fear.
Well, I would like to say this. Because you have fear, that doesn't mean that you're less than, or you're not mature, or you're not spiritually growing, or someone's better than you. It doesn't mean that. It just means you're human.
Yeah.
And that you're having a moment, and you can learn from that moment of fear. And sometimes fear is fight or flight. I mean, it's a real thing for you to get out of a situation that you were in to maybe save your life. I mean, it's good sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
But what the kind of fear that we're actually talking about is the fear that we put upon ourselves to keep us from maturing or growing or receiving things that we should receive that are good things, because we're afraid to step out and change jobs, trust someone, that because we have trust issues or something, or just something that we're not used to doing that keeps us from maybe living a dream that we always had. Not when somebody's attacking us or something. That's not what we're talking about, because you have to fight for your life at that point, So it's basically just the fear you have of what you think of yourself and who you are as an individual. I rely on God. Yes, these days are definitely bring out fear. It's a crazy and scary world. Yes, it can be. Yes.
It can be. But if you have a strong faith, at the end, the Lord already won the battle.
And he wants you to trust him to grow and get over that. I have in here, it says, name the fear, don't hide it. Just like I was saying before, no matter how small you think it is, and you may not want to share it with anybody, things that you're afraid of or things that keep you up at night that you think that are going to happen. And here's the thing that I learned, because back in my 30s, I could not sleep because I would think of all these things that was going to happen or could happen or whatever. I was trying to predict what was going to go on in the future. I wasn't living in the now. I wasted so much of my life living in the future, trying to keep stuff I thought from happening, which it was going to happen regardless. Yeah. God just wanted to prepare me to be able to handle it when it came, Yep. And it took me years to understand that.
I said it took me a long time. I'm 84 years old, and the last, I would say, 5 years of my life have been the best years of my life, because I'm at peace, and I realized all this time humans waste over stupid things that don't matter. You get upset over things that a month down the line, half the time people forget what they got mad about.
And sometimes sooner than that, not even a month.
Yeah, exactly. And so, you got to work on getting rid of the fear and just.
Renee said, I have a definite fear of not being good enough to get close to God. I work on it every day. I'm getting better. Okay. Yeah. I know Josie may want to respond to this, but I want to respond to it also.
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know you. That this is the first time you and I have met, Renee. But I will tell you, you are good enough, because first of all, he created you. So he doesn't create junk, and he knows you. He knew you before you were even born. He knows what lies within you, what kind of talents, what kind of beauty, everything. He even knows the numbers of hairs on your head. So take that fear and turn it around into faith, which faith is the substance of things hoped for and the evidence not seen, that means you may not see it immediately. But if you have the faith and start using that to say, you know what? He created me. I am good enough. And he wants me to have a relationship with him. And then start doing that and change your perception. And you're halfway there.
Yep. And you've said everything I would say. And God didn't make junk. And to God, the inside is the beauty. He doesn't care if you're fat, skinny, what you look on the outside. And too many humans base their judgment on the outside of us, whether the color of your skin or the size of you, or God doesn't look at us like that. It's the inside.
I know we're kind of getting off track, and we normally do when Josie and I have one of these shows.
We do.
But I go back to the story that Josie tells about this guy that really wasn't easy on the eyes. He wasn't the best looking guy in the room. But after she got to know him, that started fading away. It was like she didn't even see that anymore because she could see who he truly was. And that's what I'm telling you. Don't judge a book by its cover. Get to know someone and really try to see who they are as much as they will allow you to see it before you set out to judge them.
Yeah. And
just remember that.
Just us humans are too quick to judge. And that everyone, if you give your life and repent, everyone is good enough to be. And
hey, Al, welcome in, Al.
Okay, let's see.
Let me say this. Fear grows in silence. Bring into the light. See, if you'll notice in your life, when you feel your most fear, it's sometimes when you're by yourself or when you're in a predicament where you don't want to be, and your mind starts telling you you're not good enough, these people do not like you, you don't belong here, and all these thoughts start going through your mind. So once you bring it into the light, speak it out of your mouth, and you don't have to really tell anybody. You can stand in front of a mirror and talk to yourself. I know that sounds crazy, but I've done it. I still do it. If you only have one good friend that you trust, tell them, but it needs to be brought out so you can hear yourself say it. And once you do, you're like, that was so small. I thought it was great because it seemed big in your mind. But once you speak it, it's not so large anymore.
Yep. And I have fear limits you. It whispers that you're not strong enough, not young enough, not capable enough. Fear steals peace. It fills your mind with worry, making even simple decisions feel heavy. Fear blinds you. It focuses your eyes on the problem, not the possibilities. Fear isolates you. It convinces you that you're alone, even when God has surrounded you with support. But then faith lifts you up. It reminds you that God is bigger than anything you face. Faith strengthens you. It gives courage to take steps even when you can't see the whole path. Faith gives peace where fear shouts. Faith whispers, I am with you. Faith opens doors. It leads to growth, blessings, and divine opportunities.
See, faith, of course, is the opposite of fear. Yep. And those two, like I said, they don't mesh well together. And you're letting one of them be the dominant force in your life. And depending on which one that you're allowing to be the dominant force is depending on how your life is moving along. Okay? Because our words have power. Okay? I don't know if y'all have ever thought about that or not, but the words that come out of our mouth have power. The word spell is, the spelling or whatever. They use the word spell for words because back in the ancient days, they put spells on people, okay? Which I'm not going to go there. I'm just trying to tell you how powerful your words are. Mm-hmm. So when you start speaking positivity to yourself and you start trying to say, I'm not afraid, and you still could be feeling that you are afraid, but you just keep telling yourself, I'm not afraid. God's here. He knows. He knows my heart. He knows what I'm going through. I'm not afraid. Whatever is going to happen is going to happen. It's
Mhm.
okay. I'll be able to live with it. It's a choice. A lot of times people won't make a decision because they're afraid of failure. So
Mhm.
what? I know millionaires that have filed bankruptcy 4 or 5 times before they even got it right. You know what
You
I'm
never
saying?
give up. You never give
Don't,
up. That's what I
right.
always say.
Don't ever get up. Hello, Lucy. Welcome
Hey,
in.
Lucy.
But never give up on anything. And when you're afraid of something, in order to get through it, you have to do whatever you're afraid of. Okay. You have to conquer whatever you're afraid of. If you're afraid of heights, you have to go to high places. If you're afraid of whatever, you have to do that you're afraid of. And then you realize, oh, well, that wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. And even if you don't conquer it the first time and you get close, well, you've gotten closer, you know, and you're pushing that fear back. And by you doing that, you brought faith forward and you're being able to build that faith. And the next time you try something that you were afraid of, it won't be so difficult.
I hate flying. And as many times as I've had to fly, that's one thing I haven't conquered. I still hate it. I still fear it. I have never liked flying. And I used to have nightmares about flying.
And you know, and
And
that's so funny, Josie, because when we get raptured, what's happening?
that's why I want to go up in the rapture. And I say
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
I think,
that's the
yeah,
only time I wanna fly is when I'm
yeah.
being raptured. That's what I always say. But I have flown before, and I
I have
really
flown,
haven't had a problem with it. But I
I've
don't want to
flown,
do it today. I don't want
yeah.
to do fly
I
today.
have flown quite a bit, and I hate it. One time I got into such bad turbulence. I swear, when we landed, I almost kissed the ground, but I didn't. But I wanted to.
And here's the thing with Josie saying that, she has a fear of flying. First of all, number one, she wasn't the only person on that plane. So it didn't center around her fear. Whatever was going to happen in that flight did not center around her fear because she wasn't the only one on that flight.
There was a lot of people on those
You
flights.
know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? And I'm sure there were other people on there that didn't want to fly either. But it's something that lies within us that causes us to do that. I find
but
that if I count, and get myself focused on something else, that it brings that fear, it's better.
it's a funny story. As much as I fear flying, um, when I lived in Nevada and I'd fly to Southern California to see my son, um, when you go over to Reno, there's always turbulence, always. And there was this young girl on the plane, and she was really getting nervous. And I thought, I was comforting her, and here I'm the one that's afraid. But I managed to hide my fear and comfort her. And I said, it's okay. There's always turbulence, and it'll be fine. We'll land okay.
And it's
Oh,
so
wow.
funny that you say that because that's exactly what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to help other people through their fears, which causes us the ability to conquer our fear and
Yeah.
grow our faith through somebody else going through a problem. You know, that's why we shouldn't isolate ourselves. We
Yeah,
shouldn't
that's
isolate
good.
ourselves. We should be around people and connect with people to be able to grow through our fears and use our faith more because we already have it. It's something that's given to us. We just
The
have to
human,
grow
yeah.
it. We have to grow it. It's like a plant, water it every day, tend to it, get the weeds out, whatever. You have faith. You just got to grow your faith.
And the human side of us, no matter how much we progress in and have faith, we're still going to have that little tiny spot of fear that you have to
Yes.
constantly work on it because we are human.
Renee
And,
said, I used to skydive. Now that's something I will. No, no.
oh,
Here
no.
we go. I'll sign
Yeah.
it to you. No, no, no. My daughter-in-law did that not too many years ago. It's been since Berkeley's been alive, and I would like, no, I would never. She and her sister did it, and we actually went and watched them. And I was thinking, hands down, she wins because I'm not skydiving. That is not happening. No.
I don't like heights. I never, in high school, you know, when we went to, like, I lived in Northern California, and I don't know if anyone's familiar with Santa Cruz, California, but there's, you know, the boardwalk and Ferris wheel and all the different equipment. I used to stay and watch my friends go on all that stuff, and I wouldn't go on them. That's how I've always feared heights. So yes, I want to go up in the rapture.
Yeah. I was gonna say that's where you going that's when you're gonna go. It says replace what if with even if, you know, and fear says, what if I fail? What if I lose? What if this goes wrong? That's what fear says. You know, but faith does the opposite. What if this goes right? What if this all works out? What if I win? You know, it says just the opposite of what fear. They're actually opposite each other, and they're constantly at war with each other. Really, there's a battle going on. Is fear going to win, or is faith going to win? Fear or faith? Fear or faith? Don't judge yourself on how many times fear wins and faith wins. Don't judge yourself on that. Just take comfort in knowing when faith wins, you've just grown a little bit. Okay? Because like Josie said, we all have that little bit of fear always about something. So just understand that. Don't beat yourself up over it too much. Hey, Sharon. There's Leslie. Hey,
Hi,
Leslie. Welcome in.
Good to see you.
I was trying to find where I had the definition of fear because I already said what the definition of faith was, but let's see what. But I will say this: it says, even if it doesn't go my way, God is still with me. That's what I was trying to say. Even if you don't conquer it that day, that doesn't mean God has left you.
You're not alone.
You. And he's there to comfort you through you thinking that you're not good enough, but you are. You're good enough.
And spending time with God, faith grows through reading scripture, prayer, and daily connection. Remember what God has already done. When we look back at answered prayers and past victories, trust growth. Take small steps. Faith doesn't always require a leap. Sometimes it's one small step forward.
And don't compare yourself to anyone else. No. Don't compare yourself with somebody that you've known that has always been positive thinker, always been upbeat, always. Don't compare yourself to anybody at this point. You are living your own life. You're an individual. Where you are in your life is where you're supposed to be, or you wouldn't be there. Okay? So you got to start there. That's first and foremost. You know, we humans tend to look out in the world and go, oh, I can't, I'm not that way, so I'm not going to be anything. I can't do that, so I'm just going to sit over here and be quiet. I'm not going to try it because they're perfect at it. Well, first of all, nobody's perfect. And second of all, they had to start somewhere. They didn't start knowing it just by knowing it. They had to learn it also. So you need to get yourself in the game. Quit sitting on the sidelines, on the bench, and you need to get in the game and realize, hey, I'm fixing to play in this game. This is going to be fun.
And to me, the biggest test is watch someone who you think in your mind their life is perfect and their faith is strong. You think, watch when something happens in their life. Is their faith still strong then? That's always something I've been always fascinated with, because it's easy to say you have strong faith when your life is smooth. What happens, and it happens to all of us, we lose loved ones, people lose jobs, you can't afford food or medicine. I mean, there's always things that are going to happen in your life. Is your faith still strong when life's not smooth?
That's exactly right. That's a good point. And that's really going to show you if are they superficial, are they real
Mhm.
shallow, or how deep they are planted. You know, like say let's just compare ourselves to a plant. Are we just like under the gravel and the wind's going to blow us away? Or are we really planted in the earth and the wind is going to blow, but we're still going to be there, you know? And that's what you have to think about. And it's all a process. We didn't come into this world knowing everything. It's a learning process. And what is so sad is people get 4, 5, 6 years behind because either they learned the wrong thing or they're afraid to learn something. Fear has kept them from learning what they need to learn at that point in their life. When you're 10 years old, you should know certain things. When you're 15 years old, you should know certain things. When you're 20 years old, you should know certain things. But sometimes people, because of their fear, it cripples them. They don't mature into the actual age that they are. And you have some 25-year-olds that act like a 10-year-old child. And it's because of fear, living in fear.
Well, sometimes, speaking of that, and that's kind of getting off the subject a little bit, but I watch some adults on social media and I think, you expect your children to act mature, but you know what? You don't act mature.
Right. If they learned it, we can see why they didn't learn maturity because
Yeah.
you don't have it. So therefore, there you go. It says, feed faith daily. You have to feed it. It's not something that just is going to automatically grow with it just sitting there. You have to actually, faith shows action. Faith is an action word. That means you have to do something in order to grow that faith. You have to take a chance, something that you wouldn't normally do, which means conquer a fear. Maybe
You
you're
have to
not
be,
used. Yeah, maybe you're not used to going up and speaking to someone or being social out in public. You got to take that first step and go up and start socializing. I can't believe Josie used to not talk a lot. That blows me away.
I used to be very quiet, and I'll tell you how I changed it. And I'll try to summarize this because I get long-winded. I was a nurse at a small rural hospital in Idaho, and we didn't have a purchasing department. Everybody ordered their own things, which was costly because there was no control. And a job came open to organize purchasing department. I had no background, and I was a licensed nurse. I had no background, but I knew I could do it. I put my letter in, I got accepted. And at that time, as a woman, the men didn't really think I should have that position. But I worked for a year and a half. I only took 2 days off a month and worked straight through. So I worked both nursing and purchasing. And that was a leap of faith because I hadn't ever done it. And I was really proud of my accomplishment.
But look where you are now, Josie. You are very vocal in a good way.
I had to be.
And it's brought you, just think if you had never had the opportunity to do that job, or it had not come up, or if you would have said, oh, I can't do that because I can't speak in front of people. I can't speak up. You didn't do that.
My biggest challenge was we had a salesman who came in and sold, and I hadn't, he went to the other department and I hadn't given my approval of that. They ordered a polisher for the floor and it turned out to be not good. And I remember my boss, who was the administrator, said, Joe, you will take care of this problem. And I had to call the company and talk to the big CEO who thought women didn't know anything. I was very vocal and the hospital got the refund. The salesman lost his job. And that's how I had to, in my life, and I had a son to support. I wasn't married at that time. I had to have the faith that I could do this and I could handle no matter what was thrown at me. And so, yeah, that's made me who I am today.
Well,
very vocal.
Mothers will do anything it takes for their children. If it means walking through fear, they will do anything for that child to have their needs met. And so therefore, that is a good motivator of fear is children. I can guarantee that.
But don't be afraid to start something new. Don't let fear stop you from a new job or even a relationship. Forget what happened in the past. Maybe you've learned something from the past yet, but don't treat the new people in your life like you were treated in your past life. If you can get what I'm saying, you got to let go and put fear behind you and have the faith that it's going to be okay.
Hey, Slim Cat, welcome in. It says, I got down here, pray even when you feel anxious. Really, that's mostly when you should pray more is when you are going through something that you feel like has just surrounded you and you can't come through it. I try to stay in prayer. Well, the line's open all the time. You know, people say in the Bible it says pray 24/7. Well, how in the world are you going to pray 24/7 when you have a life to live? That means just talk to him. Like Josie and I are talking now. And, you know, when you get through talking, move on to what you're doing next and pick right back up where you left off. It doesn't have to be close my eyes, bow my head, you know, and don't get me wrong. There's nothing wrong with that. And at times that's the way it should be. There's a time and a place for that. But when you have an individual relationship, God is looking on your heart. He's not really looking at the position that you're in when you're praying that prayer. If it's sincere, if it's a sincere prayer.
I think it'd be nice to ask if the audience has anything to comment or how they feel about faith and fear.
Lucy said, letting go of toxic people is hard, but it's healthy because there are new people always there to find. Yes. Yep.
You are 100% right.
And I will say this, and I want to see how the chat responds to this. When someone is in your life, they can either bring fear upon you or they can cause you to have more faith just by the relationship you have with them. If someone's trying to control you, trying to get you, let's just use, for example, don't be around this person, don't do this, don't do that. They're basically telling you that you're not mature enough to decide whether you need to be around that person or not. So that to me is like, wait a minute, I can make a decision on who I want to be around. And if it's wrong, then that was a lesson I was supposed to learn. And if you don't allow me to learn it, guess what? I'm going to have to learn it down the road. So don't ever let anybody control your fear or your faith. You know, be around positive people, yes, but don't let them dictate and navigate your life, no matter how positive they are. You have to navigate your own life.
You make your own decisions, not
right.
because there's too many people that do try to control you. And it's not for your good, it's for their own good. It's not
Right.
for
They're
yours.
not doing it because they care about you. There's a
Yeah.
payoff for them. They're getting something out of it, or they wouldn't do it. How many people you know that come into your life that care about you so much that want to take over your life for your good? No, it's for them to benefit from in some way. Now, don't get me wrong. They may think that you could benefit from it too, but in reality, it's for them to benefit and them to get something from it.
Yeah.
So you have to be very careful. You just politely say, I can handle my own life. I appreciate it. I take your advice, but I'll make this decision and I'll live and die with the choice that I made. I'll accept the consequences.
Yeah,
Hey,
there's always
Diving with
something.
Purpose. Welcome in. Welcome in,
Hi,
Cynthia.
Darlene. Welcome, everyone. So glad to see everyone.
And also it says, I learned from those mistakes too, not to let it happen again, really paying attention to people. These are hard lessons to be learned. Yes, but here's the thing, Lucy. When you do learn them, you have a tendency not to go back and do the same thing over again. And therefore, your example of you learning it allows someone else to see that you conquered that fear or whatever you conquered, to let them know, well, I can do that same thing. Because who knows, they may be looking up to you. I mean, they may see you as someone that they admire. You never know who's watching and who's wanting to see someone else take the first jump. You know what I'm saying? You ever noticed how sometimes people are doing something and nobody else will step up and do it till that first person says, I'll do it. I'll do it. And then everybody else gets in line like, okay, well, if she's going to do it, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So you never know how that's going to happen. But always remember, fear is there for a reason, either to teach you a lesson, to get you out of harm's way, to be able to, and it's not always a bad thing, but you can't let it control your life. Yeah. You got to let faith be the leader.
Well, it's like if you don't have some fear, say there's snowstorm and or ice rain or something. If you don't have some fear, you don't have sense enough to stay home. You go out there anyway. So in that case, fear is good. Because
and I'll give another example. People that handle snakes and they just act like, it's no big deal. I can handle them. They're not going to do anything to me. All right. And I want to overcome this fear of snakes, but this is a deadly snake, but I'm going to handle it anyway. No. That's not how you conquer fear. That's not how you conquer fear. That is silliness. You should not even think of doing stuff like stepping out. Oh, this car's not going to hurt if it hits me. I'm just going to step out in the road. You can't do that. Faith is not going to save you from that. Okay. So if it does, it's a miracle.
Some fears are good. Some fears are good.
I mean, that car's going to hit you, and I guarantee you it's going to hurt. Okay. And if it doesn't, and it's a miracle, you'll be on the news the next day because it will be a grand story to tell. But
some of the fears that we have are kind of silly. We will. And I know I've done it. I'm sure most of us have. Okay, there's something that's supposed to occur a week from now, some event, something. And we're already anxious and fearful that, it's not going to turn out good. And most of the things that we're fearful never happen.
And we've wasted all that time.
Yeah.
Worrying over it, fretting over it. Fearful of it, and it's not even happened yet. And that's taken minutes out of our life that we can never get back.
I'm guilty of that too.
I mean, hey, how many people are not guilty? I mean, really? Oh, yes, that's all the time. Sometimes, though, I think to really learn is to actually go through the fire yourself and learning the hard way like I did. But they're good, hard lessons to look back at. That's the only way for it to click for me. The problem is I'm too trusting. Well, that'll help that. You'll get to where you'll know who you can trust and who you will not be able to, because you have seen that before.
Yeah.
Like you'll go through something, you'll come up on it again, and something inside you will say, oh, wait a minute. I've seen this. I know what this looks like. I don't trust this. Or either you'll say, oh, I've seen this. This is going to be fine. It'll work out. And it'll just build and build and it'll get better. But let me share something with you. Somebody's going to fail you all the time. You're going to lose trust in somebody that you never thought you was going to cross that bridge with them. It's going to happen. And when it does, you have to still love the person, but you have to accept them where they are. You have to understand that's where they are. And you're no longer there. You're matured. And you have to leave them and go on. Okay? And a lot of times we don't want to leave the person that has failed us or we have lost trust in, because we love them so much, we stay with them without trusting them. But trust and love come hand in hand. I don't say you can't love someone and not trust them, and you can trust someone and not love them, be in love with them if you're talking about a relationship, okay? They work hand in hand. But you need both of them to make a relationship work, love and trust.
Yep, you need both. You want to test a relationship of any kind. Say your life is going really good and you think you have all these friends, and all of a sudden, say you have sickness in the family, some financial disaster has happened, you will find your real friends, and you will find that 3/4 of the people that you thought were your friends will no longer be around. Your true friends always stick around.
Yes.
But so many people only want to be around when your life is good. Say, you got something great going on, or you have a lot of money, and but your real friends, no matter what, will be there.
And as you get older, you get over the shock of who it is.
Oh, yeah.
Because the first part of your life, when it happens, you're in shock because you never thought that person would do that to you. Then as you get older, it's like people are going to just be people. I mean, people are fickle. They're going to do what they want to do. And they're going to act the way they want to act. That's why we should make sure we're in check, that we have our bases covered, that we are who we are authentically, not what somebody wants us to be. And we should focus on us as far as getting ourselves right with who we are, aligned with, which to me is my God and Savior. And when I do that, then I don't have to worry about what everybody else is doing, because I know that I'm where I'm supposed to be, whether anybody else thinks I'm supposed to be there or not. Okay. It really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. And if you can get to that point, to the point where you don't care what anybody else thinks, then that's half the battle right there. I mean, because it really doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. They don't live your life. It's your life. Don't waste it on somebody else telling you what to do. Yeah. Don't do it.
Exactly. And I always say, I love electronics, the whole bit, but there's good about social media and there's bad about social media. Too many people don't know how to communicate. They're so used to being on their phone and texting, they forgot how to talk to each other. And I think there's more problems in the world today because of social media.
Okay, and two things happen, Josie, and you can testify to this. Number one, people get brave behind a keyboard and say what they want to say.
Exactly.
Number two, people can send a message and they won't mean it the way it's interpreted on the other end. It can get all misconstrued by the time it gets to that person. And people have a tendency not to put periods and question marks and all that in text messages. So they're reading it the way they want to read it, the way they want to perceive it. Maybe if the person would have put in the periods and the question marks, it would not have been perceived like that. But because we don't do that, when the text is sent, we automatically go with what we interpret it to say, not what the person meant that sent it.
Yeah.
You know, I've seen that happen a lot. The person will say, oh, no, that's not what I meant. Well, that's what this text says. Oh, but that's not what I meant. I mean, you can't control that. That's why speaking to each other like we're speaking to each other now, Josie and I can hear each other. We can speak.
Yeah.
We know what we're trying to say. But if we was to text it back and forth, who knows what we would both be thinking about what's being said, you know?
Well, and related to fear too, let's face it, everyone on social media, all the news, everybody thinks they're an expert at everything. And I even read, you know, I'm a retired nurse. I read some medical stuff and I think, and still even at my age, I do keep up with some of the medical. I always said I should have been a detective instead of a nurse because I love researching. It's just my cup of tea. That everybody thinks they're an expert and they give so much false information out. And that puts fear into people. You know, when someone gives a symptom and they say it's a certain diagnosis, don't listen. Don't go look for yourself. There are so many medical diseases that have the same symptom. So you may think you're having a massive something and it's just really something minor. So, and why I bring this up, because it brings up fear. Look into things yourself. Don't just read everything on social media and believe it. You know, because there again, fear.
Renee said, I'd rather have a few friends than to have a bunch of fake ones. Yes, that's true. I feel the same way. Pamela said, when my son died, no one would talk to me for a long time. Now, I think that's very sad, Pamela, and I'm sorry that happened to you. That had to be very traumatic on top of losing a child, that you had to go through the shunning. I don't know why people would shun somebody after their son passed away. That had to be very disheartening, and I'm very sorry for that. I'm sorry you had to go through that. That's what I will say. Lucy said, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that sometimes, you know, karma hits. I've seen it in my life, somebody doing something like you just said, and all of a sudden, a few years later, that happened to them. Then they understand.
Yeah. Lucy said, I claim to not be an expert in anything. LOL. That's most of us. We really are not experts. We really, and here's the thing, people are people, and we're basically the same. We're all struggling with something. We all have fear of something. We all have doubted ourselves. We all have been disgusted with the way we look. We all have went through the same. There's nothing new under the sun. Okay. Let me just throw that out there. And the devil has tried to throw the same things at every human being alive, the same fears, the same doubts. I mean, he hadn't created anything new. Okay. He uses the same old playbook all the time. So everybody, if you live long enough, you're going to be hearing that, you know, have that fear of certain things. But I will tell you, you work with you. Love your neighbor as yourself. Check them where they are and accept where they are. And realize that you can make decisions on your own, and you don't have to have anyone to help make them. And even if you fail, guess what? you can get up and start over, and you've learned a good, valuable lesson.
Makes you stronger. Every
Yes.
time you fail and you get up and start over, it makes you stronger. And to survive this old world, you got to learn to be stronger.
And also, what is failure is not trying again. That is failure. When you just sit there and are afraid, that goes back to fear. When you're afraid not to do something because you have failed at it, and you are so afraid you will fail again, so what? Fail again. Was there a book that says you can't fail something twice? I mean, it's okay. It doesn't make you less of a person. You are trying. You are trying to do something. That's what matters, is trying.
And, no matter what it is, and, it's like as old as I am, I still work. I have to. I don't do what I do because I'm bored or I just need a hobby. To survive in California, I've had to work. And you know what? I'm blessed. I said, the Lord does it for me. I'm blessed that I can still do it. And I'm not in perfect health. But I never give up. I'm too darn stubborn.
And that's the key. And I want to say this. It's okay to feel sad or toward yourself, or have pity at some extent, feel bad about failure. But then all of a sudden you got to turn it around and say, okay, I messed that up. I did that wrong. I am wrong. I messed it up bad. And then you laugh at yourself and say, well, I can't be the only one that's ever done this. I didn't create this, whatever happened. And start trying again. That's the way you have to look up. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself.
Well, Pamela, as far as that was terrible with your son, when my daughter was diagnosed with muscular dystrophy, I knew that eventually I would lose her. And I had the whole family in denial. And so I went through it basically by myself. And I was married at the time. And so I know how it feels when I hate denial. That's why I always say I'm a realist. But you have to be there for when somebody is ill or going through something. You have to be there for them. Real family and real friends are there. They don't need to say anything. They just need to listen.
And that's all human beings want anyway. They want people to they want someone to be near them. You don't have to open your mouth when they're going through something. They just want you to be present, be there for them,
Yeah. So my heart goes out to you, Pamela. That's a difficult thing. It made me kind of very cold for a long time. Having to, go through it, I felt like by myself. And and then I look at it and think, hey, I'm a tough old lady. It just made me strong.
And you look at others differently because you've went through it. You don't want anybody else to suffer that same pain that you did. And so you are there for them in a way that no one was there for you.
Yeah.
And that makes it even better. That makes it all worthwhile is when it works out that way. And it usually works out that way.
And I figured out something in life, and it took me this long. When you're young, and I'm as guilty, I didn't think anyone old knew anything, You think when you're young, you know it all. And I often wondered, why do old people always lecture or give you advice? Now I know, because we don't want you to go through the same thing we went through.
Yeah, throwing those pearls out there. All you got to do is pick them up, put them in your pocket, and just hang on to them and use them down the road, because That's why we named this show "The Calm Before the Storm," because we want to bring subjects about things that could happen to you in the future that you will be prepared for, that you can look back and say, oh, they talked about that on that show I was watching, and you will be already preparing or prepared to handle whatever comes your way. I mean, you don't ever know. You were meant to be here tonight, right now. You were meant to be at this very place at this very time. So, don't ever doubt that. You could use what was said in this chat tonight down the road. You may, going to have to use one sentence that we used in this show, or the advice that the chat gave, or some little something. You never know what the reason was, but later on you will know. You will know why you were here.
Just remember you're special, and God forgives everything.
Yes.
Sin
you
is
are
sin.
worthy, and you are enough. Josie, do you want to say one last thing before we leave?
Yeah. Let's see here. I had me and my million notes, so I don't forget what I want to say. Every time you choose faith over fear, you grow stronger. Faith may not remove the challenge, but it gives you the courage to walk through it. God goes before you, walks beside you, and carries you when needed. Keep growing, keep trusting, keep choosing faith over fear.
Yes, and you'll find that you do little things, and it just keeps building, and you'll start laughing at yourself because you'll be walking through something that you thought you'd never be able to, and you've overcome that fear, and then you'll get tickled at yourself like, I'm actually doing this. But anyway, we have enjoyed it tonight. This has been an excellent conversation. I always love our shows when I'm on with Josie or she's on with me. Next month will be on Josie's channel, and I don't know what day in March. Let's see.
Let me get.
I think it's going to be actually the 12th of March.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
I think it's going to be the 12th of March.
Yeah, same. Wow.
So it's going to be the 12th of March. It's going to be on Josie's channel. She'll let me know what the topic is. That's what we do. When it's on my channel, I choose the topic. When she's on her channel, she chooses it. We've never disagreed on a topic. We've always like, oh, that's great. That sounds good.
It's really scary.
It's
scary. We think alike, actually.
Yes, a lot alike. It's kind of like, whoa. But anyway, we are so happy that you joined us tonight. If you want to leave a comment, we'd appreciate it after the show. We love you. And if you want to email either one of us, Josie's email is on the under her name. Mine is in my bio in my channel underneath my bio. But we would not mind hearing from you in a private setting if you don't feel like putting it in the chat. We hope to see you next month. And Josie, we're just going to say bye now.
Yep. God bless you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Let me cut this off.